Hi, my beautiful friends. Today's video will be first of a two-part series of my houseplant tour where I'll be introducing all the plants that I have in my collection and how I style them so that greenery and aesthetics go hand in hand in my space. So, let's get started. Summer of 2025 has officially ended, and I'm still trying to fathom how that happened in the blink of an eye. Anyway, that led me to decide on doing this home and houseplant tour because that is the only theme unintroduced in my channel till now. It's been a year since we moved into this beautiful two-story townhouse, and it's now in a place where I'm content with how it looks. Our home has windows only on the north and south faces and is centrally air conditioned because the temperature stays below the freezing point for at least half a year. So, all my plants are curated, placed, and styled, keeping the environment of my home in mind. We'll start on the ground floor where we have our living, dining, and kitchen spaces. As you can see, this is a large open space with huge glass doors leading out to the porch with two small windows on either sides. The existing overhead lighting really helped us sectioning this large space into the living and dining zones. Let's start from my living room space. A couple of small wooden shelves houses our idols. Given the current circumstances, every day I pray for a better world. It's the only thing a person as insignificant as me can do for this world while a handful of the big guys try to ruin it. Praying, counting my blessings, and expressing my gratitude is what keeps me grounded in the small journey of life. Next to it, I have this large standing floor mirror facing the porch doors. This bounces and maximizes the natural light this room receives, especially during the winter. I know you too may be thinking that a couple of plants at the foot of this mirror would elevate the overall look, and I completely agree with you. Initially, I did have this snake plant here, but then had to move it because, firstly, this corner receives very low light from spring to autumn, and this plant would have struggled to thrive. But even in winter, when the space is directly lit up by the sun, placing a plant here would not be a sound idea for me because this narrow space connects our living space to the kitchen. And since I'm sharing this space with a speeding toddler, I would have run the risk of my plant getting knocked off. So, I'm pretty mindful about the fact that both my kid and my plants should have their own space to grow, and therefore, no plant shall adorn this corner anytime soon. Now, next to it, I have this vast wall where I have taken my time in creating, curating, and caring. Since this part of the wall is the furthest from the south facing windows, it was the perfect space to let my artwork be the star of the show with some plants and lamps framing it like bookends. The plants placed here are both low maintenance and low light tolerant. This Christmas cactus bloomed last year, and I hope I can get it to bloom again this year. Next to it, I have this beautiful and minimalist terrarium setup with air plants. This was a gift from my hubby, and honestly, I did not expect it to last for more than a few months. But in the 5 months I've had it, all that I've done is to top up the water at the base whenever it drops very low. I think the humidity inside this jar is enough for these plants to survive. A huge shout out to Life Trends for coming up with this beautiful and fuss free setup. These IKEA Calyx units can be so versatile when you're designing on a budget. It very subtly combines functionality and styling. To break the monotonous nature of this unit, one half is elevated on frames while the other half sits directly on the floor. These fabric storage bins not only soften the look of this otherwise hard unit, but also sync with the colors from my artwork. The lower end of this unit too has a lot going on at the bottom to pull your eye down from the large black TV. The plants with their unique planters mixed in with some decorative knickknacks bring in color, texture and variety. You could also say this is my Havartia unit. While I got them over summer, I think they will get happier over winter with warmer indoor temperatures and quite a few minutes of the early morning sunlight. I like the height of this unit as a TV console as it places the TV at a perfect viewing height so that our necks do not get strained. Moreover, even while watching the TV, I like to get distracted by this lush green ZZ plant. This plant is definitely my darling. This other corner adds a touch of whimsy to the space. Sometimes I sit here to read a book or work on my laptop or just have a coffee while feeling hugged by my plants. There's this neon pothos and a variegated string of hearts. Then again, we have this wooden shelf which is in the same stain and finish as the wall shelves I showed right at the beginning. The space here is sort of a planty Montessori corner for my baby. I teach him about basic shapes, colors, plants, patterns, and materials. Initially, I think he would just try to repeat saying the words correctly. But now that he's gradually started to catch their meanings as well, this space is like a teaching corner for him. This space is a living example how you can bunch up some very regular plants and yet have it look so vibrant and exotic. There's this Hoya pubic calyx, this spider plant, which I was struggling with for the longest time. Then there's this snake plant, which is again a staple for interior designers. This aloe too has a lot of potential in planterior design. While this etiolated quite a bit, I like the way it adds height to a space. Although, to minimize the etiolation rate, I finally decided to start investing in grow lights. But I saw some plant tours, I don't remember which channel, but the plant dad had a large tree aloe growing in his balcony or conservatory. Here's the closest example of such a plant I found online, and I think my aloe too has the potential to look somewhat similar. This plant adds such excitement and hope to my life. It gives me no headaches, produces pups faster than I can propagate, and it has also bloomed for me last year. It was the first time anyone in my family had seen an aloe bloom. This plant has been a major reason why my plant collection has exploded this year because it always keeps surprising me. That's why it's also featured on my channel logo. By the way, if you are about to check out my channel logo, please also take a few seconds to subscribe to my channel to help this channel grow. It would help YouTube algorithm understand that plant and plantaria enthusiasts like us would like to connect with this channel. So, go ahead and subscribe. Moving on, I love these huge glass doors and decided to add layered curtains to add a more soft and romantic look. Initially, they had the typical long plastic blinds, which made the space feel like an office rather than a home. Maybe in future I will hang live plants here, but for now it's just going to be this wind chime. My child loves to ring it by swinging the curtains at it. He's already broken the stained glass butterfly that was framed at the top. And I don't want to find out if he'd do the same if I have plants hanging up there. I try to minimize saying no to my 2 year old. So, yeah, I decorate in ways wherein the need to say no would not arise. Like these animal statues here. They are made from metal, and while you may think this only serves as decor, he does play with these, often dropping them. I'm just glad they are unbreakable. Finally, moving on to our dining space. The star of the show has to be this rubber plant. This plant adds such a timeless beauty and gravitas to the space. Then on my dining table, I have this lucky bamboo in a vase, which some of you would have seen in my first plant shopping video. I will provide the link in the description just in case you want to check that out. I tried making it the simplest of centerpieces. On this window, there's one of my impulse buys. This is my Portulaca Hannah Mysteria. This plant blooms for me on almost all sunny days. I bought it because I was simply in love with its pink flowers. I wonder why more people don't have this plant in their collection. It definitely deserves to be. And with that, let's wrap up the first part of my home tour. I certainly love the space I've created for myself and my family. I feel it too wakes up with us every morning and turns into a haven of rest and peace after sunset. As usual, please post your questions or comments below. Thank you so much if you stayed till the end, and please consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon to get notified of part 2 of this tour. I hope to see you again next week. Till next time, stay green, stay stylish, and bye bye.